I don't know how to start this. I'm just doing it abruptly because it has to get done. Here's my story. I was born in 2000. Good family, not the best. Starting some issues. It was my grandfather, my grandma, me, my mother, my uncle, my other uncle. I'm not getting into any of the issues that are serious. But a lot of shit happened, and it was just very toxic. It was a very toxic environment. It was alcoholism, and I'm not getting into it. Anyway, so I live my life, in my grandma's house. From the stories I've been told, I had a crib in the living room, and my mom slept on the couch, and my mom would be cluttered, nasty in her room, in her little area by the couch, and that's how overfilled the house was. And I was going to preschool, and not much happened there. My grandma, I remember, would drive me to preschool, and I'd jump in the front seat for everyone in the front. Everyone driving up the thing, I was able to sit in the front seat, and I'd blast the music, and it was a fun fucking time then, And then 2006, when I was 6.5 years old, my grandfather passed away, and that was the end of everything positive in this family, in my world, and everything. And it was the spark that left. Roll around 2000 and... we'll get into this. From when I first... When my grandfather passed away, the way that I remembered it, which ended up not being correct, because apparently my mind really twisted things around, oh no, do I have the audio capture? Okay, I better be recording audio. Okay, I am. Thank God. The way that I remember it, I was at my mom's friend's house, and my mom went to the hospital to check on my grandfather's condition. And that day, I spent the whole day, with her, having fun. And she came in her car and said, "Papa left. He's no more." Or something to that line, I don't remember exactly. And then I remember her crying, and everything just left. And then my mom had a boyfriend of 5 years old. When I was 5 years old, when I was 5 years old, my mom had a new boyfriend. The thing is, just after that happened, I don't remember the exact timeline. She had 2 boyfriends. But anyway, the one boyfriend, they left, and then we moved out of the house after my grandfather died, not too long after, maybe 6 months after. And they broke up, and she got into another relationship like that. And he was abusive to both of us. There was a lot of things getting thrown around. There was holes in the walls in her room. It was a scary time for the both of us. The things I remember specifically was when he would run into... one time my mom and him were arguing, and he ran into my room and picked me up by my fucking arms and slammed me against the wall and screamed in my face for whatever the fuck, I don't even know. I was petrified. I pissed my pants even, to be honest with you. It wasn't a fun time. It really wasn't. It was scary. It was no way to live. There was one time when I was coming out of the bathroom and he was waiting at the end of the hallway with the BB gun and he shot me. I think it was 10 times, but it couldn't have been from the length. But he shot me in the bare ass with the BB gun. I got out of the shower, I had the towel wrapped around me, and pow, 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 the towel fell off of me, and that's the end of it. And the past bites everyone in the ass. I want to be honest with you. If anything comes up about him, I don't care. The past bites us all in the ass. It's the past, okay? I don't want it to bite him in the ass. I think he's changed. I really hope he has changed. If he didn't change, then I don't care what happened. But if he swears he's a changed man, then I believe him. And that's a part of it all. You know, no matter what hardships he has put me through, I guarantee it's just in the past. That fucking hurt to say, but it had to. It's true. And then that happened. There was a lot more. I'm not getting into all the details, but that was like 3 experiences out of, I was 8 years old to 10 years old, so however, 2.5 years, however you wanna. He abused me for crying over my own grandfather's death and said I shouldn't be crying. Get over it. It happened a year ago. What the fuck? I was 8. I was 7. I was 8. I was 9. And then my mom divorced him only because he cheated on her. And I was the one to have the phone with the name on it, and I passed it off to him, and she asked me what the name was, and I told her, and she got curious and went browsing through his phone or some shit and found out that he was cheating on her, and then divorced him. Not after hitting both of us, not after everything that he put us through. And then there was 2011 came around. Things were not looking up. But before I get into that, I should get into this. I joined the fire department. He was a part of the fire department, okay? He got kicked out of the fire department. He got kicked out of everything shortly after everything got released about him. And everyone knew how much of a scumbag he was. But I was a part of the junior fire department, which was a thing where, you know, you had a group of kids about 8 to 18 years old, some younger if they were a fireman's kid. But they hated me. They bullied me. They were non-stop. They hated me. They told everyone in fucking school, throughout middle school and everything, nobody likes you, Joe. Nobody wants to hear you. Nobody loves you. Nobody wants to hear you. It was just constant bullying, constant gay assessment, fucking not assessment, gay, whatever, gay slurs, homosexuals, whatever, homophobic slurs. I got it all, man. All throughout middle school and high school and through these fucking juniors, you know. They tormented me. They used things against me. It wasn't fun. It wasn't pleasant. I had to deal with that. Oh my god, even the director of the whole entire fucking thing had it against me. Telling me I wasn't able to go. I wasn't fast. I wasn't this. I wasn't that. I was a slow one. If anything happened, it was me. She blamed another kid for something that... No, she said to another kid, Joseph, why don't you get up and do something? And it wasn't him. It wasn't me. It was him. I don't fucking know. I'm just going on a fucking... Oh, yeah. It was just... through 10 years of so much bullshit and getting knocked down, and there was nothing. It was toxic. It was all toxic. While I had to deal with that, I had to deal with bullying from school, and then I had to deal with my own mother's control issues. Everything that I did, she had to go do something, say something. Other kids even. She had to parent everybody. Okay? She has to be the one to say, oh, you're swinging too high on the swings, get down. That was my mother. Okay? It wasn't fun. It was, every morning was like hell on earth for me. I got up and she'd start screaming at me not to be late for school, which I get that, like, you gotta do what you gotta do, but she would grab me out of bed and hit me. Not force me to get my shit. She would fucking slap me in the face. It was terrible. She'll claim that she didn't even lay a hand on me. No, this and that. But, no. Okay? From my perspective, it was scary. Every morning she would be ear-piercingly screaming. I'm fucking serious. I wasn't allowed out. I wasn't allowed to do anything. At my grandma's house, things changed. Because when I transferred from being 11 years old from 10 years old to 11 years old, I started going to my grandma's house where I had a little bit more freedom. And I got mono when I was about 11 years old. And my mom said I was just being lazy, this and that. When my grandma was like, no, there's clearly something wrong with him. And she threatened to beat me if there was nothing wrong with me. It turns out I had mono and my throat was swollen 7 times more than it should have been. And that's just the type of shit that, like, it just fucks with your fucking head, because it makes you think that nothing or anything can be wrong with you. And it's just, they don't care. It's just my grandma noticed a difference. And my grandma was the one who raised me. My mother dragged me up. My grandma was great at teaching me things. Like, she's the reason why I am as outward and positive and as good as I am. Because if it wasn't for her, if I was raised by strictly my mother, my life would be so much worse. She gave me what she can, okay? I'm grateful. She worked she worked full-time since like a week after I was born. Give her credit there. She wasn't there because she was working, but when she was home, she wasn't there. Okay? She'll claim she was. She was sitting in her room, watching TV, doing nothing. I asked her the one time, I'll never forget this. I'll never live it down. I walk into there, and I go, and I want a box. I have like a board game in my hand. And I go, hey, Mommy, let's play board games together. And she's like, not now, I'm busy, and just unpause the fucking TV. And then I told her about all this, like what I remembered, and she goes to say to me that, oh no, usually my excuse was I was tired. I'm like, Ma, you still gave a fucking excuse. And I was like, no, that time you said you were busy. There's no excuse for that. I cut it short. There's no excuse for that. Anyway, after all of that, let's go into my relationship issues, shall we? Because that all ended when I was about 15 with my mother. Once I got strong enough to pick her up in Target, all the abuse stopped. It was only strictly emotional and mental and psychological. It wasn't so much physical anymore. But she just, as my grandma, as anybody, I'm giving credit for my grandma. As my grandma would say, some people shouldn't have had kids. And my mother was one of them. Now, don't get me wrong. She is my mother. I love her to death because she's the one who's been keeping me under a fucking roof, you know. She feeds me, through all of my shit, you know. That's what your mother does. But your mother does not treat you the way that she does. She is a good mother, not a good person to live with, unless you have understood her to this point in my 20 years of life. Okay? When you're a little kid, you don't understand. You don't know. You don't see it at a different light. Okay? You see it as face value through your own perspective. Through hindsight, that's where you see it all. I don't know how long I've been. 15 minutes? I'm not even halfway through. Fucking hell. Anyway, after that, with that. So, my first girlfriend, not gonna give her name, not at all. I mean, I posted a video about all of this when I was 14 years old, but I have respect for her now. Okay, we're all grown up, everything's different now, we're all fucked up, we all fucked each other up, okay? How I was and how she was fucked me up, but how she fucked me up made me fuck her up. Everything bites you in the fucking ass, okay? If you're gonna pretend to kill yourself almost every single fucking night, or if you did pretend, if you didn't, please let me know. If that's you, you know who you are, you know who I am. No matter how much you can ignore me when you're working, or pass me off as whatever, I know you know who I am. We spent our 8 months back and forth together in 2012 or 13. I think it was 2012 to 2013. If I get it wrong, I'm 2000. No, yeah, had to have been. There's a lot of problems with her. I'm not getting into that. That's way too personal. But then after that, there's this other girl that I ended up dating. Now I'm not bringing up my friends during this time. I'm just only bringing up the relationships. Like, so this other girl, she helped me throughout all of that while I was dating her, along with a few other people. Don't get me wrong. Like, when towards the end of the relationship, this girl helped me realize how bad this other girl was for me, like the first one. And I clung to her after that. And she ended up being a toxic person to cling to. She may say otherwise. No, she wouldn't say otherwise, because she deleted me on Snapchat. Unfriended me completely. Because I didn't answer her when she said to me, "Nice hair." When I cut my hair for the first time since 2014, she said, "Nice haircut." Now, I was working, but like that whole entire day, I was coming home from therapy. I got off the train, and I go, you know what? I should go and get a haircut. So I skateboarded. I think I skateboarded. Might have skateboarded, or I took an Uber, but either way, I went to the barber shop, with the salon rather, and I told them how I wanted to cut my hair. They said, "Oh, let's whatever." And then I took a video and I took a picture, and then I put my phone right back in my pocket, as a normal person should when they're trying to better their life. You don't get sucked into your phone. I'm sorry, but that's not how you improve your life. Getting sucked into your phone, the media, and everything, no. Okay? I don't look at all of my messages at the same time. There were some days, some people that, like that day, I still saw the messages like 2 weeks later. I'm dead serious on that. I'm terrible. I'm a terrible person with that. But back to the original story. This girl, she was great. She was absolutely amazing. I loved her. She was my first... Yeah, she was my first true love. As shitty as it may say now. Oh my god. I like this girl, okay? I loved her. I loved her to death. I still did. I still care about her. Don't get me wrong. But the way that she ended up being was very back and forth and on and off, and one day she'd be on top of me and the next day she'd fucking pretend I was a stranger. And she did that constantly for months, and then she just stopped talking to me. And then senior dance comes up, not senior dance, 5th grade moving up. This is literally, no, 6th grade moving up. This is literally just 6th grade alone. Don't get me wrong, okay? This is fucked. 6th grade dance comes, and, everyone tells me that, I said I had a surprise for her, which I just wanted to play her favorite song, or a very emotional song for her, and I would comfort her. I don't know what my plan was for exactly. I just wanted to do something for her, And then they said that I was expecting to kiss her. So, I manned up, and I said, okay, I'd love that. I ended up kissing her at the end of the night when her song didn't play. And yeah, it was a fun time. We kissed twice or 3 times after that. Now, mind you, this was after we dated. Oh, Lord. Anyway, so she says to my best friend that she thinks she's in love with me. And then she turns around and then says that she's a lesbian to me. So I said, okay, that's great. Something. My heart dropped. I wanted to kill myself. I was in the middle of walking somewhere, and she did that shit to me. I almost killed myself in the middle of the road. But then my other friend, now she would probably want her name mentioned. Because, there's not too much bad to say. There's a lot bad that happened later on. But we literally made amends. Me and her still talk. We're still on bad terms.